When Diddy went live on Instagram in 2020 to introduce a young white girl as his adopted daughter, nobody knew what to make of it. The girl, maybe 11 or 12, smiled awkwardly as he urged her to repeat her new name.
That he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
At first glance, it felt like one of those unexpected but heartwarming moments celebrities occasionally toss into the timeline. A powerful Black mogul taking in a kid during the chaos of the pandemic, it gave off serious savior energy, the kind of thing people share with heart emojis and claps. But something was off, and people could feel it. They just didn't know what. Fast forward to now, and that moment has taken on a completely different meaning. Ava all but vanished after that Instagram debut. She wasn't seen in any of the usual places. No birthday posts, no family TikToks, no casual behind-the-scenes clips from the Combs household. What made it stranger was how she was placed in the rare moments she did appear. Fans started noticing she was always around Diddy's sons, never his daughters. Her body language was tense, like she didn't quite know where to look or how to act. It didn't feel like family. It felt like PR. Then out of nowhere, Terrence Howard dropped a nuclear-level courtroom statement that cracked open a new layer to the mystery. He wasn't even supposed to be talking about Ava. His whole testimony was about Diddy's alleged predatory behavior in Hollywood. But mid-sentence, Terrence paused and made a cryptic reference. Something about a situation involving someone you wouldn't expect. And just like that, the internet connected the dots. Ava. Why? Because not long after that courtroom session, Diddy's indictment expanded. More potential victims were added. People started whispering that Ava might be one of them. The girl who vanished after a short, awkward live stream could actually be at the center of one of the darkest stories in modern celebrity culture. And here's where it spiraled. Terrence Howard did talk vaguely. He went into detail about a time Diddy invited him over, claiming he wanted acting lessons. At first, it seemed innocent, just two actors connecting, but Terrence said things started to feel weird fast. Diddy didn't have any scripts, no rehearsal plans, just staring. Then he asked Terrence to come over again, play some music, hang out. His assistant eventually warned him, Diddy isn't looking for acting lessons. And from there, communication stopped. Terrence backed away fast. That moment was chilling on its own, but when he later added that in this industry, once you compromise your manhood, you never get it back.
This one I gotta pick it up from right there.
Look at this nigga. Go ahead.
Fans read between the lines. He wasn't just talking about himself. People started thinking, what if Ava was part of this same twisted pattern? What if Diddy's so-called adoption wasn't about compassion, but access? That theory gained momentum when Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, stepped up with his own truth bomb. Gene was around during all of it. He saw what most people didn't. And according to him, Ava's appearance wasn't a family moment, it was a stunt. A calculated play to soften Diddy's image while the world was stuck inside, scrolling social media in search of feel-good news. Gene said Diddy picked Ava up during the pandemic, paraded her on social media like a trophy, and then cut her out of the picture once the buzz died down. No school photos, no follow-up updates, just silence. And according to him, the industry knew. People behind the scenes had suspicions. Some believed footage existed, evidence tied to whatever happened next. And now, federal investigators are reportedly combing through Diddy's seized devices, looking for answers. That's where the story really starts to shift. Because now, Ava isn't just a name mentioned in passing. She's become the question nobody can stop asking, where is Ava Baron Condi? And what really happened after that Instagram live? Diddy never talked about Ava again. No Father's Day photos, no updates, not even a vague mention during interviews. And for someone who documents almost everything, parties, yachts, birthdays, lavish events, the total blackout was louder than any scream. People started digging. The internet turned into detectives, pulling up screenshots, matching timelines, replaying that awkward live stream like it held the key to something deeper. And maybe it did, because Ava wasn't a name you just stumbled across. After that initial reveal, there were no adoption records. No school registry listings, no tagged photos from classmates, no birthday shoutouts from friends. It's like she was introduced to the world and then digitally erased. The kind of vanishing act that feels intentional, calculated, as if someone wanted her to disappear without questions. Then came the lawsuits, one after another, not just against Diddy, but people close to him. His sons, Justin and Christian Comness, started appearing in court filings. Justin was named in a case involving alleged trafficking. Christian is now facing a sexual assault lawsuit. These weren't old claims resurfacing from the past. They were fresh, ongoing, with disturbing details that had eerie overlaps with Diddy's own accusations. And this is where people started getting really uncomfortable, because Ava, in the rare glimpses she was visible, was always seen hanging around those two. Never Diddy's daughters, always the sons. Always the ones now being linked to deeply disturbing behavior. It forced a terrifying thought. Was Ava adopted to be protected or to be controlled? Gene Deal, the former bodyguard who's been unloading secrets like he's been holding them in for years, says it wasn't just about optics. He insists Diddy learned these behaviors from others in the industry, people who used power to exploit. And then he did the same. He started doing to others what was done to him, Gene said in one clip. That's how it works in that world. You either get used or you start using. And if that's true, then Ava wasn't some random kid he felt bad for during COVID. She might have been part of a pattern, a tool, a setup. The one comparison Diddy made that won't go away is Madonna. During that live stream with Ava, he said, "I adopted you like Madonna did," trying to normalize it. But that reference has aged terribly. Madonna's adoptions have been slammed for years. Allegations of child trafficking, manipulating court systems, removing kids from their homes under shady circumstances. So when Diddy casually said he was doing the same thing, it didn't come off like a celebrity flex. It felt like a confession. The timeline just doesn't help his case. Ava shows up out of nowhere. Pandemic hits. Diddy's public image needs softening after years of bad headlines. Ava gets introduced. She disappears. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal troubles start bubbling again, and new names start entering the picture. Insiders claim some of these victims were minors, that some were filmed, and that some might have been trafficked. That's not speculation anymore. It's what federal investigators are now chasing. And in the middle of it all sits this one name, Ava Baron Combs. A kid who may have walked into a celebrity's home thinking she was getting saved, but ended up somewhere darker, somewhere more dangerous. Then there's Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex, whose lawsuit shattered whatever illusions people still had. She wasn't vague. She didn't suggest. She told the world about being trapped, watched, silenced, and forced into freak-offs. She said she was recorded, said she was scared, said she was used. And now, investigators are asking if Ava was part of that same machine, the same environment, a different version of the same horror. The industry is holding its breath. Because if Ava talks, if she testifies, this won't be another case swept under the rug. It'll be the one that blows the whole thing wide open. 50 Cent knew something was coming. For years, he'd been poking Diddy online, throwing shade, making jokes that didn't quite feel like jokes. People brushed it off as beef, just two egos clashing in the spotlight. But now, in the middle of all the legal chaos, the teasing has taken a darker turn. He's releasing a documentary, Did He Do It? And it's not just a title, it's a warning. In a clip that's already gone viral, 50 says, "They can't charge him for what we saw, but we can't unsee it." That line hit the internet like a punch. Because everyone knows 50 doesn't bluff. If he's teasing footage, if he's even implying there's something visual, something real, that ties Diddy to the things people have only whispered about, it means he's been sitting on this truth for a long time. And he's not alone anymore. Sources close to the federal investigation claim Ava Baron Combs is no longer missing. She's not a runaway. She's not silent. She's reportedly cooperating. If that's true, if this girl, once paraded around on live streams like a pet project, is now ready to talk, it changes everything. Because this wouldn't be speculation anymore. This would be confirmation from the one person who lived it. That means prosecutors now have something they've never had before. A first-hand witness from inside the house who saw what the public wasn't supposed to see. If Ava tells them what really happened after the cameras turned off, who she was around, what she was asked to do, what was recorded, it could connect all the loose threads that have been floating for years. The Terrence Howard hints, the lawsuits, the secret charges, all of it. And it would explain why Diddy has been spiraling. Quiet payouts, vanishing posts, sudden PR moves that feel more like panic than strategy. The man who once ruled every corner of music, media, and fashion is now watching his empire crumble from inside out. And for once, the noise isn't going away. The internet is locked in. They're screenshotting everything, saving videos, tracking legal updates like it's an HBO series, except it's not a show, it's real life. If Ava takes the stand, she becomes the voice of every victim who never got one, not just in Diddy's orbit, but across the industry. Because what this case is starting to uncover isn't just one man's twisted reality. It's a system, a structure that's protected powerful men for decades under the excuse of fame, fortune, and influence. And it's already shaking. You can feel it in the silence from other celebrities who once stood beside Diddy. And to the ones who posed in photos, toasted champagne, called him family, they're all quiet now. No support, no tweets, just distance. Because they see the walls closing in too. They know what it means when someone like Gene Deal starts talking, or when 50 Cent stops joking, or when the feds start seizing hard drives. People used to ask where Ava went. Now they're asking what she knows. That shift matters. It means she's no longer just a mystery. She's a key, a witness. Maybe the final piece of a puzzle that's been sitting in the open for way too long. Because if what's rumored is even half true, if Ava's story confirms the darkest parts of Diddy's world, then this isn't just a fall from grace. It's an implosion of his legacy, his power, his protection. And with each day that passes, it looks more and more like the people he tried to silence are finally ready to speak. And this time,